South suburban politician Tiffany Henyard appears to have lost control of both governments.
Henyard's landlord showed up here to see her tenant in person after she says Henyard has been dodging both her and rent payments for months.
In a town where political scandal seems to make headlines daily, the saga of Dolton's self-proclaimed super mayor, Tiffany Henyard, continues to escalate, leaving residents and critics alike baffled. Henyard, who has made a name for herself not only as mayor of Dolton, but also as the supervisor of Thornton Township, is facing a whirlwind of controversies. From extravagant spending sprees to dubious dealings with law enforcement, each day seems to unveil a new chapter in her chaotic political career. And as more allegations emerge, one can't help but wonder, has Henyard lost control? Or is there something even more calculated behind her behavior?
Now she's teasing a big announcement that she claims will result in some of her opponents being arrested and charged.
This latest chapter opens with an ironic twist. Despite her lofty six-figure income from her dual public positions, Henyard is facing an eviction lawsuit for failing to pay rent. You heard that right. The mayor of Dolton, who reportedly rakes in over £280,000 per year, hasn't paid her rent since August. Her landlord, Jenna Hull, once considered a friend and supporter, is now tangled in a legal fight with Henyard, claiming she hasn't received a penny for months. According to Hull, she's been forced to escalate her efforts just to serve Henyard with the eviction notice. And for a woman who manages millions in public funds, dodging rent payments seems suspicious, to say the least.
A Dolton home that she leased to Mayor Tiffany Henyard has filed eviction papers. She says Henyard has not paid her rent, and now she wants her.
Hull's account of the ordeal paints an almost surreal picture. Hull says she's since faced a brick wall in trying to collect what's owed, claiming that Henyard not only stopped paying but went as far as changing the locks and garage codes to keep her out. For Hull, it's not just about the money, it's a matter of principle. Here's a woman who trusted Henyard enough to lease her property to her, only to find herself allegedly strong-armed and ignored by a mayor who claims to fight for her community. If the reports are to be believed, it's hard not to see this as a grim metaphor for Henyard's leadership style, taking without giving back.
We talked to Tiffany Henyard's landlord, and she says she came to this Thornton Township meeting Tuesday night hoping to get paid what she says she's owed.
But the unpaid rent scandal is just the tip of the iceberg. Henyard's tenure as mayor has been marked by some shockingly lavish spending that's raised more than a few eyebrows. While Dolton's budget deficit continues to balloon, Henyard has been spotted jet-setting across the country, with some sources claiming her tastes run into luxury hotels, first-class flights, and fine dining. Just this year, documents reportedly revealed that Henyard used public funds to spend thousands on luxury accommodations, including stays at the Four Seasons in Atlanta and the Marriott Marquis in New York City. And we're not talking about just an occasional splurge. Her spending habits have reportedly drained Dolton's general fund by millions, leaving the town in a financial crisis that threatens essential services.
All this point the finger to Tiffany or allow me, I'm over it. Now it's time for me.
These excessive expenditures have stirred outrage among residents, who say that Henyard's spending shows just how out of touch she's become. Take, for instance, her penchant for high-end dining. Over just a few months, Dolton's public funds have allegedly covered more than £23,000 in restaurant bills alone. And for what? The community has been given little explanation as to why such splurges are necessary. According to some, Henyard and her entourage justify these trips as efforts to attract investment and foster growth for the community. But critics argue that this couldn't be further from the truth. Dolton's residents are left asking, where's the investment in them? As the town struggles with issues like failing infrastructure, broken water mains, and safety concerns, Henyard's lavish lifestyle feels like a slap in the face to those who elected her.
Thornton Township tonight as another board meeting got canceled because of a lack of a quorum.
And that came after a disagreement about where to hold the meeting as trustees expressed concerns for their safety.
But what's even more troubling is how Henyard allegedly wields her influence to silence her critics. Reports have surfaced suggesting that she's used local police officers as her personal security force, often assigning them to keep an eye on anyone who dares to question her authority. In Dolton, this super mayor doesn't just call the shots, she controls the narrative. The small business owners claim they've been pressured into making political contributions, with some saying that they've faced harassment and inspections when they refused to play along. Lawrence Gardner, a local business owner, says he was strong-armed into contributing to Henyard's campaign fund, only to face harassment when he pushed back against her demands. In his words, refusing Henyard's requests was like asking for trouble. Gardner and others describe a culture of fear, where disagreeing with the mayor means risking retaliation.
I will be seeking arrest for individuals involved. I will be pressing charges.
For some residents, Henyard's iron-fisted approach has become too much. They've taken to social media, calling out her alleged abuses of power, and some fans are making it clear that they're fed up. One viewer summed up the frustration shared by many, commenting, "Come on now, where is the FBI? Henyard needs to be arrested, and this mess needs to be cleaned up right away." Another fan, equally frustrated, wrote, "Tiffany does not live there. That house is for show. Her mansion is probably in another state. Tiffany done stole too much money. She up to something." These comments reflect a growing sentiment among Dolton residents who feel abandoned by a leader who seems more interested in personal gain than public service.
Just here because I'm at wit's end and I fear that I'm going to go into foreclosure soon if I can't get this matter handled.
And speaking of the FBI, it seems the federal agency may have finally taken notice. Henyard's administration is now reportedly under investigation for her handling of public funds. While the exact nature of the FBI's inquiry remains unclear, insiders say it's focused on her spending habits, which appear to be at odds with Dolton's financial stability. If there's one thing the FBI doesn't tolerate, it's a public official using taxpayer dollars as a personal bank account. And if the rumors are true, Henyard's high-flying lifestyle may soon come crashing down.
So now I have to pay a special process service in order to get them served, which is more fees for me.
It's not just her personal spending that's come under scrutiny. There are rumors that Henyard has allegedly awarded lucrative contracts to close allies and campaign donors. Some sources suggest that these contracts are part of a larger scheme to solidify her power, using public resources to buy loyalty. And while Henyard's team has brushed off these claims, calling them baseless, Dolton's residents aren't convinced. In fact, many are demanding an official inquiry into the way contracts are awarded in Dolton, claiming that Henyard's administration operates like a closed club where only those with the right connections have access.
Right now, it appears that they're going to try to have a meeting upstairs. It is not safe up there.
Meanwhile, as if these scandals weren't enough, Henyard's actions seem to be causing division among her own allies. The latest development involves an ongoing lawsuit that has reportedly caused a rift between Henyard and trustee Stan Brown, who was allegedly listed as a plaintiff without his consent. According to sources close to Brown, he was shocked to discover his name attached to the lawsuit and immediately sought to distance himself. Brown's public statement denouncing his involvement has further isolated Henyard, leaving her with fewer and fewer allies as she faces increasing scrutiny. For a leader who once commanded loyalty, it seems Henyard's support base is shrinking by the day.
It's her fault. It's her problem, her responsibility, and she failed. She's failed everybody.
The backlash against Henyard has even reached the point where residents are comparing her to a reality TV star, claiming she's more interested in fame than governance. It's not hard to see why. Henyard has been known to attend public events with a full entourage, complete with security detail, photographers, and a fashion-forward wardrobe that's earned her plenty of attention. At a recent Valentine's Day ice rink party, she reportedly arrived with her deputy police chief acting as her personal bodyguard, creating an almost surreal scene for residents who simply wanted a fun day out with their families. As Dolton's financial woes deepen, this focus on image over substance is only fueling frustration among residents who expected a public servant, not a celebrity.
It's a power grab. That's it. Power and money grab.
As the criticisms mount, Henyard's response has been one of defiance. In recent public meetings, she's lashed out at her critics, accusing them of being jealous and envious of her success. During one heated session, she reminded the trustees that she is the leader and called on them to fall in line, accusing them of doing nothing but running their mouths. But for the Dolton community, these words ring hollow. For a town facing serious challenges, words aren't enough. And with each new controversy, Henyard's leadership seems less credible, leaving residents to wonder how long they'll have to wait for change.
It's just getting to be redundant, and we're getting tired of coming here, not having the laws followed, not having a meeting.
Henyard's recent announcement of her re-election bid has only intensified the drama. Despite the scandals swirling around her, she remains confident that the people of Dolton will stand behind her once again. However, the opposition is equally determined to bring about change. Trustee Jason House, a vocal critic of Henyard, has announced his candidacy for mayor, promising to restore decency and order to Dolton's government. Alongside him, a team of candidates known as the Clean House Slate has emerged, committed to addressing the corruption they say has plagued Dolton under Henyard's administration. This upcoming election is shaping up to be a battle for the heart of Dolton, as residents are forced to choose between Henyard's defiant vision of leadership and the promise of a fresh start under House and his team.
The sheriff's been out here a few times to serve them. For a household that makes, over $350,000 a year.
For those who've been following this saga, Henyard's refusal to leave without a fight is both predictable and perplexing. Here's a mayor who is facing eviction, mounting legal troubles, and now federal scrutiny. Yet she's doubling down, seemingly unfazed by the whirlwind of controversies that surround her. Perhaps she believes that her connections and loyal supporters will see her through. Or maybe she's so entrenched in her own narrative that she can't see the writing on the wall. Whatever the case, Henyard's story is far from over. As Dolton watches its super mayor face mounting controversies, there's one big question hanging over the town. Can Henyard really hold on to her position? Or will these scandals finally be her undoing? And with a federal investigation reportedly underway, what could the fallout mean for Dolton's future? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Let us know what you think. And don't forget to hit subscribe for all the latest updates on this story. See you in the next video.